Unlike that thumbnail may suggest, I did not just stumble across this show randomly. I actually watched the show as it aired. I was waiting for this premiere. I was counting down the days. Basically, this show stars an actor that I had been following since his very first and only other show, KinnPorsche. His name is Bible because he was born on Christmas, and we like him because he's super good looking. I'm not even really going to get into KinnPorsche because if I start talking about that show, I'm going to sound like a crazy person, and there's no coming back from that. But basically, he played the villain who gets semi-redeemed in this show, and in my opinion, he was the baddest bitch on screen at all times. And he was also a good actor, which was nice because a lot of the other actors in that show were not it. But he was for real evil though. He was doing some crazy. Anyway, this show starts airing, and I will say it was actually super fun to watch as it was coming out. It was ripe for theorizing about what was going to happen in the next eps or how the mystery would get solved. It came out last year in September/October, and I even remember I went to a haunted house with a friend who was watching it as well after the fourth ep aired. And the line was an hour long. And I kid you not, her and I talked about the show for that whole entire hour nonstop, which is great. I love when shows give me and my friends something to discuss. I should also mention that my best friend and I would FaceTime and watch the show together for every single ep. And even this rewatch is with that same friend as well. So I'm stealing some of her jokes about the show because she's the funniest bitch alive. So let's get into it. First of all, there's two versions of this show, the cut version and the sultrier version. And the sultrier version is a whole 13 minutes longer. I wonder what that could mean. So you press play, and right off the bat, it's the show wants me to not know what the fuck is going on. I swear the brightness is all the way up, and it's impossible to see anything. But since this is a rewatch, we know now that this is a scene from the last ep of the character Time getting shot and dying. This is intercut with Bible's character, who I'm just going to call Bible for simplicity's sake, dying on a hospital bed, which also happens in the last ep. They're putting definitions for everything the doctors are saying in the corner, even for things everyone knows, vital signs stable. What do you mean? Why are we doing this? So we then cut to our lead actor, Bible, serving back in bleak as he wakes up in a bed a few weeks earlier as sort of a, you're probably wondering how I got into this situation setup. He picks up the biggest cat you ever seen and talks to it in English because I guess the cat's white. Next, he puts on this fuck-ass shirt and gets into the slowest elevator in the world and starts having a heart attack. But then it's all good. He's okay. So he's driving to school, and his friend calls asking if he has a calculator he could borrow. So the safe driver he is, Bible stops to look for a calculator in his glove box, but can't find one. I'm glad he pulled over to do that, though. Someone could have gotten hurt. He then proceeds to drive off at 100 miles per hour and fucking run over this lady, and she dies. He then has another heart attack and is flung back in time 4 minutes to right before he hit the lady. He sits there confused for a bit, understandably disoriented, and tries to figure out what's just happened, but regains himself and starts driving again. A second later, he freaking hits her with his car again! He doesn't kill her this time, because he was driving slower. But hitting her again is crazy. Although the first time he tries to hit and run, but the second time he calls the cops to take her to the hospital. So the time travel did have an effect. And then we meet the other male lead, Time, who looks like if from ATs and First Count fan had a baby, and we learned the lady wanted to kill herself, and that's why she walked in front of the car, but Time is going to save her with his expert surgeon skills. Like I said, the other male lead's character's name is Time, spelled Thyme, like the spice. Honestly, I love on-the-nose character names like this, so I'm a huge fan of having the lead of a time travel show be called Time. I just can't help it. Next, Time's psychologist friend tells the lady, give up. And they do surgery on her, and we get to see all up in her intestines. I honestly don't know if I can show this. Anyway, they end up saving her. Also, Time has a whole girlfriend, but she's legit irrelevant. I don't know why they even included her. And then this dude takes Bible's brother, whose name is Korn, to an online gambling warehouse where they allegedly make millions of dollars, blah, blah, blah. This whole plotline is so boring. Also, Time's sister works here. That will be important later. Korn gets home, and we meet his teenage sugar baby boyfriend, and they talk for a bit. They seem very sweet on each other, and they have a whole 5-minute long sex scene, which doesn't seem that long, but it was long. And they were doing some crazy shit. We were skipping through, and every skip got crazier and crazier. No one wants to see that shit. Where's Bible? But you know what? I can accept one useless sex scene. As long as there aren't 800 more of these, and they take away so much runtime from the leads that even by the final ep, I still feel like I don't know anything about Jess's character. Hopefully that doesn't happen. Over dinner, Bible's father tells him how he basically got Bible off scot-free for hitting that lady, but Bible's low-key shouldn't I have consequences for my actions? Because I guess he's a good person. Later, Bible keeps looking at his phone clock all confused, saying his clock is acting strange, and he tells his brother that he saw the future earlier, but obviously his brother doesn't believe him. Time returns home to see his sickly grandma, and we learn that he's actually super poor, even though he's a fucking surgeon. The economy's in shambles, I guess. So Bible, titties out, goes to give the lady he hit some flowers at the hospital. And this shirt's weird too. Like, half of the appeal of Vegas, which was his character in KinnPorsche, was his fire fashion sense. But it seems like that did not carry over to this new character at all. Like, you are not Vegas. He takes a pic of the flowers like a DoorDash delivery driver, which sort of makes sense because his mom told him to take pics for PR purposes. But I think she meant like take a pic of yourself with the lady and the flowers, not just of the flowers. So the lady tells him her whole life story, and on the way out, he bumps right into Time. And then he has another heart attack and ends up 4 minutes ago. And apparently 4 minutes ago was before he even went to the lady's room. So this time he just drops the flowers off at the front desk and leaves. He doesn't even talk to her. And then he has a vision of him and Time getting freaky with it. And then we learn there's a bunch of other people apparently coming to the psychologist saying they can see 4 minutes into the future. And then the ep ends. So as far as pilots go, it's really not bad. Definitely things only get crazier from here on out, but it sets up a good mystery regarding time travel, and so far I mostly understand what's going on. And it was super well produced, and you could tell they actually put efforts into cinematography and sound design and whatnot. I have no emotional attachment to Time due to the fact that he had like 30 seconds of screen time and was given no personality, but I'm interested in Bible's character, and I want to see if the assholist persona he put on is a facade and he's actually a good person at heart, or if he really is an ass and just pretends to be a good guy every so often. I would go into the rest of the series because, like I said, it just gets crazier. But I want to see first if viewers are interested in this at all, and if it gets views. And if it does, I'll do the rest of the eps. I'll probably do like 2 or 3 eps per video so that this is like a 4-part series instead of an 8-part series. But who knows? So don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Oh my gosh, time.